What is going on, guys? We're back once again, and we're going to be talking about something that has barely been discussed on the channel. We discussed it on and off. Obviously, you can see on your screen. We're talking about Jeepers Creepers. Now, there is a lot to discuss about this franchise because it's an amazing franchise, to say the least. It's a great franchise, and it's actually not getting its due for a very long time. It's been almost a decade since the franchise came out, and unfortunately our actors that have played in all, well, not all, but most of the movies, such as Gina Phillips and Jonathan Breck, they're unfortunately getting older, and nobody's going to last forever. So there's a lot of suspicion on if there's going to be another one, because obviously we had the one in 2001, 2003, and then 2017. Now, a lot of people did not like the one in 2017. I thought it was okay, but it was more of a side story to 2 rather than anything at best. I firmly believe that there is a possibility of if it will ever be as good as it once was, because obviously ever since stuff that came out about Victor Salva all those years ago in his past, with all the disgusting things that he's done, he's really ran the name of Jeepers Creepers in the ground. And even though they tried to bring it back in 2017, there was a lot of issues with that, and then there was no merchandise. It's barely making any money, and the franchise is pretty much dead. So what can be done? Obviously, I was inspired to be doing one of these videos because I do love the series. I find it to be very amazing. It's not like the normal other kind of horror movies we have out there, or killers such as Candyman, Chucky, Leprechaun, Freddy, Jason, Michael, Pinhead, Scream, or any of these other paranormal killers. But it really gets me on how a lot of people have forgotten about Jeepers Creepers. And Jeepers Creepers is one of those movies that is very interesting to watch, because you don't know what to expect when you watch it, and then after you watch it so many times, it's like, okay, well, this is what's going to happen. But at the same time, we honestly don't know really nothing about the Creeper, other than he's either some kind of a demon, some kind of an alien, some kind of a monster, that sleeps for 23 years and comes back every 23rd spring, and then eats people, is regain a limb or two if he loses something, so it's very hard to kill him. And he smells fear. If he smells something, he'll basically terrify you so much, and then he'll finally kill you or torture you while he's trying to tear off the limb that he wants. So there's a lot of, in the first one, and in the second one, and the third one, we didn't really get to know anything about the Creeper in the third one, other than, okay, apparently for the ones that were on the road all those years ago, it was like something Darby, I believe, and there was a lot in the very first one where Jen technically is the only survivor, and a few survivors from the bus that we got to see in the second movie, and then of course the sergeant in the second and third movie, or the first and third movie, let me rephrase that, because technically the second one is just the third one, but the third one is a prequel to the second, which is between the first and the second. Now, I think that Jeepers Creepers has a lot of potential trying to go towards, let's see, Netflix, Hulu maybe, or into another movie. If they reboot the franchise, could it be done? Yes, it can. But in time, because I firmly do believe it's time that Jeepers Creepers either does need to get rebooted, or if you're going to continue the story, leave it on a high note. Because honestly, I'd like to see it in where at the very end of Jeepers Creepers 3, we saw Gina Phillips, aka Trish, rally people, whoever's left of who the Creeper has taken. Because if we really look at it, because they left us on a high note on the second one and the third one, so technically we really don't know what the Creeper is. We don't know if he is some kind of a demon. Honestly, that's one more leaning towards, because of everything that they've shown us throughout the entirety of the franchise. But I'd like to see Trish, the cop sergeant. We'd like to see almost everybody that is a survivor. Some of the kids from the bus, from the one that lost his son, that one and his older son found and tied up the Creeper and basically strung him up like a ornament in the barn. I mean, there's so much that can be done of, okay, these are all the survivors And now that we know that the creeper is not dead, we have to finish him off, whoever's left, to basically make sure this does not happen again, and try to find a way to actually kill him, not to just sustain him, but to actually kill him. Because we look at everything, he has a van, he's able to control it, it's a booby trap van, same thing with all his weapons, he can fly, he can be harmed, but at the same time, he's one of those where we don't know if he's going to regenerate. He constantly has to eat, he's always hungry, he's always trying to find something or someone he can eat and take over for his body, whether it be an arm, a leg, a heart, a head. We've seen all that in all three movies. So I think after a certain amount of time, we need to see something a little different that's actually going to put the fear of literally God in these characters and go, okay, how are we going to kill this thing? Because we know very little about it. Do we have to use some type of, I don't know, weapon by God, or Michael's sword from, some kind of holy church or something? Or do we have to burn the creeper's original body? I mean, because in the first one, it looked like that could have been his original hand. I mean, I could be right, I could be wrong, but there's a lot of stuff in the franchise, and it's been going through in comics, there's been going through in like a few t-shirts, a few posters, and of course with the three movies. So there's a lot of possibilities that they can go if they actually do it right. And the only way that can really happen is if Victor Salva relinquishes his rights to the franchise, which I highly doubt, unfortunately, he's going to do, because again, he created this. This is, his only thing that he's really done that's mattered and actually has done in a way well, but at the same time, he just wants to hold on to as long as he can. And it's really hurting the fans, because I firmly believe the fans that enjoy this product, the fans that enjoy the lore of it, and the ones that want to try to keep this essentially alive, it's really hurting everybody else. Because if you really think about it, over in the next 5 years or 10 years, are we really going to care about Jeepers Creepers any longer? Because right now, Jeepers Creepers is literally becoming one of those movies where it's like, okay, why didn't they make another one? Or, it's like, oh yeah, I remember that movie, it was a good movie, or it was a badass movie, or it was this, or this, and it's like, okay, well, why didn't they go forward? So honestly, I think it should be made into a series. It could go maybe stretch from the very first one. If they have to, I would love, honestly, if they put Gina Phillips back into the franchise. I would not like if they replaced her, but they did. I think the best thing for them to do would be if they possibly almost the same type of scenario about this, either two sisters or two brothers, or something with siblings, where in the beginning of the show, where we see them doing the same thing her and Derry did, and go through this crazy time of her trying to take on the creeper, and then finally, now that she now knows, okay, hey, they went through the same thing I went through, maybe I can help them, or maybe I could do something to make sure that this don't happen, or maybe, if maybe someone finds her and she tries to help them to go through all this. So I don't know, there's a lot of possibilities they could do to stretch this out, but I honestly want Jeepers Creepers to come back. Will it come back? Only time will tell. Only everybody that is able to do something. But hopefully this goes out to the community with everybody, because I know a lot of Jeepers Creepers fans are out there, including myself. But let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. I'd like to know what your thoughts are about this. Would you guys like to see in the show another movie? What do you think the creeper may be? What would you like to see happen? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the very next one.